And welcome to episode 520 of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
I'm Ian, and this is the only podcast that says
a shoe is just a shoe until someone steps into it.
Oh, man.
Did you watch that?
Oh, yeah, I had to.
Okay, yeah.
What a great fucking movie.
It was. For those who don't, we're talking about Air, which is the story of how Nike signed Michael Jordan and created the greatest shoe brand ever.
Yeah, it brought their company back from tennis.
Well, it didn't, like, they were a popular running shoe.
Yeah, but not a basketball.
But no, not a basketball shoe. Like they were going to shut down the basketball division because it was floundering. But as a running shoe, like, you know, Steve Prefontaine put Nike on the map.
Yeah.
You know, so they were the preeminent, like, in running shoes.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, basketball shoes at that time, it was Converse, and, you know, Adidas was making their way into the market, and they were popular, as the movie says. Like, you know, Run DMC had the song My Adidas. You know, they were a popular brand at the time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Nike was nowhere on, like, my radar as a football player.
Right.
And I think at that time, like, Reebok was starting to get into the game too. Like, they're never mentioned. Like, I remember, it's like, all of a sudden, like, people started wearing Reeboks around that time too.
Yeah. Because they had the pump.
Yeah. Well, the pump came a little later, but, like, I just remember, like I think as a tennis shoe, it was popular.
Oh, I see.
So, like Nike had running. I think Reebok made their entry or their money with tennis, and then Converse was basketball. I don't even, like, nobody was even courting football at the time, which is unbelievable.
No.
I think.
No. Yeah, I know.
You know,
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. So, but I mean, this was on Amazon Prime, and, you know, it stars friend of the show Maddie Damon, and you know, by association, friend of the show Ben Affleck, and Jason Bateman, Chris Tucker.
He was great.
Oh, Bateman was fantastic.
So was Tucker. I thought everybody acted their ass off.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, it was a really well-made movie.
I thought so too. I thought it was fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Like, I had high expectations because I thought, well, this is going to be good, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was Ben Affleck directed. He's won the Academy Award for directing and writing.
Yeah.
You know, the guy knows his shit, and, you know, and Matty Damon makes good movies. You know what you're getting with Matty. But yeah, I mean, I thought this was extraordinarily well done.
Tucker was amazing.
He was so good.
Yeah. Was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so impressed with it. So was Bateman.
Yeah. Bateman was fantastic.
Yeah. It was just a good movie.
Yeah.
Acting was superb.
Yeah.
They pulled it off big time.
They did.
Yeah. It was good.
I don't want to dismiss Viola Davis played Michael
amazing.
Jordan's mom. Oh, yeah. Like that, at the end when she's talking to Maddie on the phone, she's like, you can have them, but we want a piece of the revenue.
Yeah.
And, like, she's explaining why, and it was like, man, you know.
I liked their first meeting too.
Oh, that first meeting was fantastic. Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked. I mean, I figured it was going to be good, but I didn't think it was going to be that good.
Right.
You know?
Right. No, I agree. I'm not saying it should win awards or anything, but it was very, very well done.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Top notch. For me.
Yeah.
I'd give it an 8. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8 as well. I really, really enjoyed it. And I mean, and, like, there were things I knew going into it. I knew, like you said, I knew Nike wasn't a basketball shoe at the time. Like, you know, I didn't even know they had Moses Malone signed at that point. But, like, so I knew that. I knew who Sonny Vicario was. Like, I knew, like, he was a guy who's kind of responsible for, like AAU tournaments and stuff like that. Like, you know, he really had his, like, he was smart in that aspect of it. Like, get them while they're in high school, get them wearing Nikes there.
Yeah.
And once they matriculate, they're going to remember how good it felt wearing a Nike. And, so, like, he had a vision of, like, 5-6 years down the road.
Yeah.
But the problem was with Nike, like, they couldn't afford that vision.
Yeah.
Or at least they didn't want to afford that vision to wait that long.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I knew he was involved with, like, signing Jordan and Nike. But, like, some of the like, I didn't realize, like, he has that moment of clarity where he's just like, man, I'm just about to cost all these people their jobs. Like, I didn't realize that. Like, I didn't know it was like that with Nike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I knew Phil Knight's a wackadoo, and I thought Ben Affleck played him perfectly.
All right.
Like, he was like just wackadoo enough.
Yeah.
Like, I'm smart, I know what I'm doing, but I'm also just a little batshit crazy. And at the end, that kind of helped. Like, he kind of, like, gets out of his own way because he is a little bit batshit crazy.
Right.
So, like, there was a lot of good stuff in that movie. Like, I knew a bit of the backstory, but it gave me a little bit more. And, like, I don't know how much of that speech...
It's good speech stuff.
At the end, Vicario actually gives, but if that's true, like, if that's basically the speech he gave, man, he was a fortune teller. You know what I mean?
I think he was a fortune teller from when he watched him on TV.
Well, yeah.
I think he knew. The thing that Matt Damon had over anybody else in there, he's watched more basketball than anybody in there.
Right.
Anybody.
Yeah.
He knew. Like, he knows basketball.
Right.
And he knows basketball players. That was kind of stated in the beginning.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, when he goes into that meeting with the other guys, and they're like, oh, well, Barkley's a clubhouse problem. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
This guy's going to be a star. Can't you see that? No, of course you can't, because you never watched the game.
Yeah, right. But he had the vision.
Yeah.
He went to these games. He knows these people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows.
Yeah.
He knows. And so...
Like, even the guy, like, I'm going to go... I'm not going to be at the meeting tomorrow. I'm going to L.A. to talk to this guy. Who the hell's that? Well, I don't know. He was, coaches Iowa. He was on the U.S. Men's Olympic coaching staff. Oh, yeah, he was the best man at my wedding. Like... How the hell did you get a job in the basketball division if you don't know this shit?
Right.
Like, and it is funny because it's like, it's kind of like that same way, like when you watch like Moneyball, and like when he's in there with those scouts and they're talking about, oh yeah, he's got no confidence, he's got an ugly girlfriend. What?
Yeah.
Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Right, right.
Like, yeah. I mean, like, these, and they had this very old-fashioned way of looking at things, and they're trying to introduce a new way. And it was kind of the same with Sonny Vicario's doing in this movie. It's like, you just can't look at, like, stats on a sheet and say, oh, yeah, this guy's a great player. You have to watch them.
Right.
And these guys weren't even watching them.
I love that breakdown of Jordan with that last shot, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
that was great. He was like, look, he's not even, he's loose.
Yeah.
He's not even.
He wants the ball. He's calling for it.
And you're passing it to a freshman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Your man's open.
Yeah.
He's in the middle.
Right.
That's where you think the ball's going to go.
Right. You think the ball's supposed to go to James Worthy, who was the star of the team.
Yeah.
And no, he's the distraction so that the 18-year-old freshman can get the ball and take the shot.
Right. And then he went on to the coach's side. He has a one, and he's giving it to this kid. He believes in him. He sees it. He sees the same thing that Matty saw. And so, and
slowly everybody else starts catching up to him.
Right. But that was one of the best business moves in history.
Oh, yeah.
History. And from his mother's point of view, too.
Well,
Jordan collectively makes $400 million.
Yeah.
Softly, just off the shoes every year.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous to even think about.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And for that time period, it's even more brilliant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's not just the shoes. Like,
well, yeah.
Right, but, like, anything that has that logo on it.
Correct.
So, like...
Especially the shirts.
Yeah. So, like, as an example, North Carolina the University of North Carolina, when they sell a basketball jersey, it's got the Jordan logo on it. Because they are a Jordan brand school. They're not just a Nike school. They're a Jordan brand school.
Yeah.
So he gets a piece of every bit of merchandise that has his logo on it from the University of North Carolina.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think Michigan's also a
Jordan school.
A Jordan school. They don't have the Nike logo on their shirts. They have the Jordan logo. So, again, you buy a Michigan jersey, a certain percentage of that is going in Michael's pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's brilliant.
It is. But it also opened up another revenue stream for these players, especially later on down the line. So you look at like Barkley. Barkley does like he's getting a percentage of his, and now he's more invested in it because he's making those commercials. Like I'm not a role model, and Barkley versus Godzilla, like these memorable commercials. It was the same thing with Michael. If you're of a certain age, Mars Blackman saying it's got to be the shoe.
Yeah.
Like, that's just iconic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it opened up another revenue stream for
Be Like Mike.
Yeah, or Be Like Mike, what they ended, with Gatorade at the end. Yeah. Like, but it was brilliant to open up this other revenue stream for the players, because they're always looked at as cattle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know. Well, it also opened the way up for NCAA too, and he was
right.
He was instrumental in that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And I think that's where it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's amazing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, later on in the 2014 case for name, image, and likeness.
Yeah.
Like, Sonny Vicario, his testimony swung that in the favor of the athletes.
Yeah.
And that ended a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But it also ushered in later on the Supreme Court ruling about name, image, and likeness, that players could make money off of that.
Sure.
Like, that was, like, his testimony stopped, like, NCAA football and NCAA basketball on, like, the PlayStation and the Xbox.
Right.
Like, because players were bitch, like, well, it's clearly me.
Right.
You're just putting it, you just don't have my name there, but it's clearly me.
Right.
So why am I not being compensated for that? And so, like, that opened up the door for name, image, and likeness, that later on the Supreme Court ruled that, yes, athletes can make money based upon their name, image, and likeness. And so now all of a sudden, that's opened up those floodgates.
Right.
Where that's part of your scholarship now. Like, what's my NIL deal?
Right. Right. No, I know. I think he's from Pittsburgh, right?
Sonny Vicario?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I swear, what prompted me to watch this movie was, I think he came on 1020 AM radio.
Yeah.
And talked to,
I
forget his name.
Richardson?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's one of the guys.
Yeah.
There's Marty, and then there's another guy, and then there's another guy.
Yeah. I don't know.
One calls Steeler games, I think.
Yeah, it's Richardson.
Yeah, it's the other one, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I listened to the interview.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about what's his name's death.
Yeah.
I guess he was friends with the Caesar. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I might be completely wrong, but that's what prompted me. I was like, oh, I gotta watch it. As much of a Jordan fan I am, and I like the fact that you never even saw Jordan.
Yeah.
You just saw his back of his head.
Yeah.
I get that.
That was interestingly well done, because like even like the mother at the beginning, she's like, we're not there yet, and so like it's not until the end when she's like, okay, now it's time for you to talk to him.
Yeah.
Like, that was interesting.
I really like the breakdown of his speech.
Yeah.
Those flashbacks, those flash forward scenes.
Yeah.
Of him like losing his dad.
Yeah.
Golfing and betting and
yeah.
Fucking wrecking and playing baseball.
Yeah.
And then it says, and then you're gonna come back and you're gonna make that climb.
Yeah.
It's like, and you have to make that climb. You're the one that's going to make that climb. Then
Right.
he show his comeback.
Right.
Where he won 3.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't care what anybody says. Jordan is the best goddamn basketball player on the planet.
I agree. Like I wholeheartedly agree. Like he's the GOAT to me. Like I never saw Oscar Robinson play, which I know a lot of like older people like, you know, who are NBA fans, they'll say to Oscar Robinson and you know, I certainly don't begrudge anything to Oscar Robinson, but I never saw him play. So like to me, Jordan's the GOAT. You know, with Kobe being second.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. The fact that Jordan won Defensive Player of the Year still amazes me.
Yeah. And even Vicario, no, she's like, well, he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. And he's like, no, you can't do both. You know, you can't be both. Well, no.
You can't.
And that's the thing, like, especially now, like, I hear, like, people talk, like, I was watching this video series, like, it was a YouTube video, and they were talking about, you know, could the 97 Bulls beat that Clippers team that won 75 games?
Uh-huh.
And everyone was almost unanimous in saying, like, yes, and it's only because you have 3 of the greatest defensive players to ever play the game. 4, maybe. Like, that team played defense. Oh, yeah. They're going to lock you down. Like, they may not stop Kevin Durant, but Scottie Pippen's going to give him a long day.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get your points easy.
Right.
You know, you may get your 25 points, but you're going to earn every single one of them.
Yeah, I mean, like, you had Pippen, D-Rod, and
Jordan. And the European guy. He played lockdown defense too. Kukoc, yeah.
Yeah, that was a fucking killer team.
Yeah. Like, just on defense alone.
Was Kerr on that team? Or was he on the first squad?
I think he was on the first squad.
I don't know. I think he was on that second squad.
Maybe. I can't remember.
Because Kerr was great from outside for threes.
Yeah.
That was a great fucking... I mean, the first team and the second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
And I still think Pippen's one of the most underrated players ever to play the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people think... And maybe say, oh, Pippen's one of the best players. No, Pippen was that good.
Yeah. He would have been a star somewhere else, but he was just very, very good at being second fiddle to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but he got his point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's the equivalent of Crosby and Malkin.
Yeah.
You know, if Eddie Malkin would be a superstar anywhere else he went, he'd be their top player. He'd be their top center. He'd be wearing the C.
He'd be their Ovechkin.
Yeah, but he was more than content to be the second guy.
Yeah.
You know, and put aside his ego because, you know, you got one of the all-time greats in front of you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's easy to walk away and say, well, you know, I deserve my place in the spotlight. And there are, you know, 30 other teams that would have taken him.
Yeah, I think Malkin will get into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I think so, too. Like, I don't think there's any doubt about that, just like Pippen did, and rightfully so.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, there's a time where you kind of have to sit there and say, like, Alvin Harper across from Michael Irvin worked. When Alvin Harper left Dallas, he was a bum.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to realize a lot of your greatness is based upon the guy on the other side from you.
Agreed.
And I think sometimes, like, I think Pippen would have been a great player. I don't think he would have been a bum like Alvin Harper was.
Nah.
No, but he would have been a great player, but maybe you don't reach the heights that you reach because you don't have Michael Jordan. You know, with Gino, it's the same thing.
Right.
You know, you won 3 Stanley Cups. Well, maybe you win one on your own.
And then what do you got?
Right.
I think he likes it. I think he likes the chemistry.
Yeah, that too. I mean, there's friendship there and everything. But, I mean, it's just like,
I think the only thing
Shaq left the Lakers. He won 1 title.
Right.
You know what I mean? Kobe rebounded and won 3 more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like that's the definition right there. I mean, and Shaq is a great player.
Yeah. No, I
you know what I mean?
Anyway, so it was a great movie.
It was. It was a very, very, very. if you're into this, like, that's the thing, like, it's not a nerdy thing. It's not science fiction. I mean, it's a story of how Nike signs Michael Jordan. Like, if that's interesting to you, you're going to find this movie of great interest.
It's like the underbelly of Nike.
Yeah. like it's just like, okay, I watched that Tetris movie on Apple. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's not like this. This was a little bit, that was a little bit more wackadoo because, like, you're talking about Russia and shit. But still, and there's that one that's coming out about BlackBerry I want to watch. Like, that looks like stuff like that is of interest to me, especially like something that changes the world, like Tetris did in its own way, and the way Jordan did in his own way, and the way BlackBerry did by kind of being the first smartphone, being, that was there before the iPhone was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before you had Samsung and Google and everything else, like, there was BlackBerry.
Right.
And that was the game changer.
Right.
That's what I'm sure Steve Jobs looked at and said, we can do that better.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, I suggest it. It's a good movie. If you're into basketball,
yeah,
it's a good movie to watch.
Yeah, like even how they talked about designing the first shoe.
Yeah, that engineering piece of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of interesting. There was a lot of interesting stuff that went into it. Like I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Anyway.
I also watched today Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
How was that?
It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of it.
Okay.
I had fun.
I started it and I fell asleep.
It's got Pine being Pine. Michelle Rodriguez is good. The other cast of characters is all right. I can say this much, like, I haven't played Dungeons and Dragons in 20 plus years. At least like the tabletop version.
Yeah.
I have played like a couple of video games here and there, but I think I played Baldur's Gate on the PlayStation 2, I think. Stuff like that. But I haven't played the tabletop version of Dungeons and Dragons in over 20 years. There were still some things, and like in the movie, even like I figured out like, oh, this takes place in the Forgotten Realms. Like when they showed the map, like, oh, the spine of the world, okay, that's where Dritz is from, and stuff like that. Like I was able to piece together little things here and there to kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, this is where we're going. And then they started dropping names, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, okay, I'm there. So that was kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
Like what even makes it more fun though is the fact that they took, like, when they made that Dungeons and Dragons movie like 20 years ago, that awful fucking thing where like Jeremy Irons is just chewing scenery, just horrible. Like it had no connection to Dungeons and Dragons. Like it could have, like, other than like some creatures and stuff, like it didn't feel like Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it just did, because there was no connection to any of the like material you were familiar with. They just kind of like, oh look, there's a beholder, and oh look, there's this, and there's a dragon, yeah, wizard, okay. But outside of that, there was no connection. Where this kind of creates that connection because it's taking place in one of their game settings.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you've got this Forgotten Realm setting. They're dropping like Neverwinter, which is the Neverwinter Nights, Baldur's Gate. There's a bunch of things that they're kind of dropping. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, I know where we're at. I know where this is, and if I recall on the map, this should be right about here. It was stuff like that like made it a little bit more connective tissue.
Yeah.
To the actual game than just like, oh look, there's an owlbear. Oh look, there's this. Oh, a gelatinous cube.
Yeah.
Like creatures don't make the connection as much as like location does. Like it would almost be like if like, I'm watching a Superman movie and it's, yeah, he's from New York. Like, what? No, he's from Metropolis.
Right.
Or like, a Spider-Man movie takes place in a completely fictitious city that they had to make up because like they couldn't use New York for some reason.
Right.
Like, no, he's in Queens. So like these are things that like it's connective tissue that like helps make it feel a little bit more, oh, okay, I get this. I'm there.
Yeah.
You know. And so that was a nice added touch to it. But it's Pine. It's Pine being Pine.
That's good.
You know. I enjoy that part of it. I'll watch almost any Chris Pine movie.
Yeah.
You know, and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And especially when he gets to be a little sassy like he is in this movie. I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, when he gets like that, it's funny.
Yeah. So.
All right, I'll check it out. Maybe tonight.
Yeah. Like I have, if you are somebody who does enjoy a good sword and sorcery movie, this is definitely worth checking out.
Cool.
You know, it has its tongue a bit in its cheek a little bit, but not so much that you're like, oh, like,
yeah,
you know. But it's definitely there. Like that, it doesn't take itself uber seriously. It's not trying to be Lord of the Rings or something. It's just
that's good.
Yeah,
that's where I think that's where movies fail.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's where movies fall off the boat when they try to take themselves too seriously. When they try to be Lord of the Rings when they don't even have a hope.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Like it's very well done. You know, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it, and so that's on Paramount Plus if you're looking for something to watch. That's a little bit more in the nerdy realm.
Well, something that's not in the nerdy realm. I watched A Man Called Otto.
Oh, okay. I thought about watching that.
Brutal. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
And like, I stay away from Tom Hanks films usually.
Yeah.
I just get tired of him.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
He's oversaturated with Hanks. I get it.
It has been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was like, there's nothing else on. I finished everything that I wanted to watch the past couple days, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
Man, was I fucking shocked.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Wow.
As far as an independent level movie.
Yeah.
Because this is an independent level movie.
Right.
It's a Sony picture, Columbia, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's
low budget.
It's low budget independent film. It's filmed in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. And it was very fucking dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it had its bright spots. But it was a very fucking dark movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to... This is the only thing I'm going to say about the movie. But he's trying to kill himself the entire movie.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's how dark it gets.
Right.
The flashback scenes were good. Back to the 70s were good. 60s. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It was top notch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought, wow, I was like... I was shocked.
Yeah.
Like, I was completely invested in this fucking show.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even put the phone up or anything. I was like, just watching him chew screen up. Not chew screen up like that,
right.
But just being Tom Hanks. Being in character.
Right.
It was refreshing to watch.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anything like that really since Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Forrest Gump, he was that character.
Yeah.
In this movie, he completely embodies this character.
Yeah.
On who he is and what he is and what... And as the story unfolds, it unfolds beautifully.
Right.
You know? Like, you don't know what's going on, and then you get a hint.
Yeah.
And then you don't know what's going on, and then you get another hint, and then it comes out here. And then it's kind of like the movie starts with him so closed off, and by the time it ends, he's opened up.
Yeah.
So there's this big transformation, like this arc with him.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
The writing up, it was just really well written.
Yeah.
And it's just a really good movie.
Good.
So I suggest the movie.
What was that on?
But it was brutal. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I have to look it up. I don't. Sony Pictures, my guess is Prime.
I want to say probably on Prime too, but
Columbia. I don't know. I don't think it was a Netflix film. It could have been.
It actually has. It's on Netflix.
Netflix.
Stream. Yeah.
But the movie was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just Maybe because it felt like Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. It makes sense to me.
It just felt like it.
Yeah.
It felt like Pittsburgh. It's like, when you watch Gung Ho,
Yeah.
it feels like Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that type of vibe.
Right.
This movie had that type of vibe. Not as gritty, but
Right.
you can just tell.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. Like when he's in the factory.
Yeah.
Or when he's at the grocery store.
Right.
Or, it just felt like Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Same thing with, what's the movie with Emma Watson and...
Great
movie.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what that was.
They go through the tunnel and Heroes is playing.
Yeah. Let me look it up here because I can't remember.
Anyway, that movie felt like Pittsburgh.
Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just felt like Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You saw it, right?
Yeah. I watched it.
It's a decent movie.
It's a good movie.
But it just feels like Pittsburgh. Even the Penn State talk and going through the tunnel. And all this stuff. And it felt like it.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyway, this is
I get that from, like, All the Right Moves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
That's the first movie I ever watched where I'm like, yeah, it's home.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps that it's about football, but so is this town, So, like, I get, and, like, there's a lot of references to, like, the Steelers. Like, we had dreams of growing up and being Steelers together, and, like, it's like, I had those, me and my buddies had those same dreams, So, that's the first one that felt like home to me, and then Gung Ho, and, the one with Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Oh, yeah, the one where he's the river cop. Like the only thing that sucked about that movie is none of that exists.
Yeah.
There is no, like we do have, like, police on the river, but, like, they don't have this giant elaborate headquarters on the river or anything like that. There's none of that shit here.
No.
Like, but, like, there are, like, police boats that do patrol the rivers,
Sure.
but, like, not like
that.
No, not even close to that.
This isn't like the mouth of the Mississippi or anything.
Yeah.
This is fucking Pittsburgh.
Yeah. It's pretty, I mean, that was pretty funny. Like, I'm watching that going, where the fuck is that at?
Right.
It's
Niagara Falls. No,
yeah.
I finished the Mayhem.
Oh, okay.
Oh. What a great fucking series.
Wasn't it?
Oh,
surprisingly great.
Oh. Not just great, but it's up there.
Yeah.
I mean,
like in Muppet stuff.
Ranks.
Yeah.
Like high. I couldn't believe how good it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get... There were a number of little Easter eggs called back to other stuff, but the one that made me pop the most was, I think it was the second episode.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out.
When Animal's giving Nora all the stuff.
Okay.
And she's like, what's he doing? Like, well, he's giving you things of affection. And he's like, and Animal goes, baseball diamond? And it was the baseball diamond from the Great Muppet Caper.
Oh, okay. All right.
Popped me.
Wow.
Yeah. That, and I can't remember what episode it was, but at one point, Lips answers his cell phone. And he goes, Mana.
Oh, I caught that.
Yeah. That made me laugh.
Mana.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mana.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. That was a good one.
That was.
I caught that one.
Yeah. But at one point, like, Animal's giving her the baseball diamond from the Great Muppet Caper. And I was just like, oh, shit, that's deep.
The fucking tripping episode?
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, they went adult, but they didn't go too adult.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it was adult.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, so was the Kevin Smith episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that Kevin Smith episode was great.
That was great. But, like, at the end, when Peter Jackson shows up, and they're like, man, we haven't seen you since that night with the Feebles. I was like, oh, shit. What a call. I mean, it was shit like that. That, like, little things that you were just like, oh man, that's a great.
I love.
Plus, it told a great story. Like I mean, like that. The little things are like fun that make you pop, but it told a great story too.
And it did, and I loved how it went in depth with the main characters of the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, especially during the breakup parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what Janice was doing. You know what I mean? Like, all this stuff was like, wow, they just went down this rabbit hole with these characters. That was.
But even like the backstory with like Teeth and Floyd.
Oh,
with like,
that was amazing.
That was.
That was like.
Yeah.
That was fucking killer.
Yeah.
And it like brought a lot of heart to the show.
It did.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in the gold tooth, where the whole origin. But that was like. That was so cool. I love that part.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my favorite parts of that series when they went back when they first met.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was like, wow, that's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I love how it brought that story. It brought these characters to life, and it gave them like another dimension. I feel like I know more about Dr. Teeth than I do Fozzie.
Yeah.
No, really.
Really, yeah.
I mean, how they explained it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it was like, wow, his story's real deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like what's amazing is, like, this show had no right to be this good.
Nah.
Like, I thought, well, this will be fun. It's the Mayhem, you know, like, how good can it be, though?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have high expectations for it. I mean, I thought it'll be somewhat entertaining, you know. And it was really fucking good.
Yeah. The tryouts, too, for the...
Oh, yeah.
Mayhem.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was fantastic. I really loved... I loved it all.
Yeah.
And I especially loved Janice's one-liners.
Yeah.
And like... I even liked... what's his name? Phenomena. Lips. I even liked his character.
Yeah.
And, you know, he wasn't, like, center-focused the entire time, but he was.
Yeah.
Saxophone player.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Yeah, but he was center focused.
Yeah.
Because he ended the show.
Yeah. But, like there were like little nuggets that he would just drop, or like, you know, like the beginning of the show when they're like, well, we signed you, you got a $400,000, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, who signed for it? Zoot. Like,
yeah.
You know, Zoot did. And, you know, at the end of it, like, it was like on the bus reveal.
Oh, yeah.
Like bringing back the bus from the Muppet Show.
Yeah.
Or the Muppet movie. I was like, again, that popped me. But like when they started putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and then he find the money. Like,
I loved it though. I loved how the photographs were. This is our memories, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fucking great.
It was. It was really, really
the Master
well done.
Puppet scene and the fucking Muppet thing and the fucking van. I was like,
yeah,
so badass. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Their whole, you can see like the Muppets are, you know, they're cringing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just start fucking jamming. Fucking great. I loved it. I fucking loved it. It was great. I mean,
even the one cold open where like, well, maybe we could do this song or we could do that song. Did we get the rights to it? You know, and like it cuts, you know.
Yeah. But the songs that were playing were great.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it was great. It was such a great show.
It was. It was really good.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. It was not. I mean, I thought it was going to be good, but I didn't think it was going to be that deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get that. Yeah, I mean
it definitely captured that Muppet magic of friendship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in an adult sense,
right?
Versus a kid sense.
Yeah.
That makes any sense.
It does.
You know what I mean?
But it was just weird how like it felt more throwback to like the Muppet movie.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like, I don't know why, but it had that feeling of like the Muppet movie and the Great Muppet Caper and the Muppets Take Manhattan, like.
Yeah, and it had like the thing was though. What I liked about it, they had that one episode for the tryouts and stuff, and had all the cameos in it.
Yeah.
And then it had a couple cameos after that, but it wasn't crazy.
Right.
It wasn't like oversaturated with cameos like Muppet movies usually are.
Right.
Like, someone's the bellhop, or Quentin Tarantino was serving him a burger. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that.
Right.
I don't think it was oversaturated. Like usually when a Muppet movie, it's oversaturated with all these cameos because everyone wants to be in it.
Right.
Yeah. And with this, they kind of narrowed it down to like one episode specifically. And then there was a couple episodes where people kind of fell in.
Right.
But it wasn't like the entire series was...
But the cameos then made sense after that.
Yeah.
Like the Kevin Smith episode.
Completely involved in the story.
Right. Peter Jackson showing up at the end.
Yeah.
Because he kept referencing Peter Jackson.
Completely involved in the story, though.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was... I love that part of it.
Yeah. Like there was a lot of good stuff to it. Like there was a lot of like... It told a very good story. Like I said, I mean, it's shocking. It is not. It was much better than I ever thought it was going to be.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I applaud Disney and I applaud the Muppets and everybody involved with it because, like, if this is what you're going to do going forward, like you said, you know more about the mayhem than you do about Fozzie. Well, what's Fozzie next?
Yeah.
Like, are you going to do a show about Fozzie and what? Like I said, like Rizzo and Pepe, or Rizzo, Pepe, and Gonzo, stuff like that. Like I mean, and the great thing about the Muppets is like there are like endless possibilities to a certain extent because there are so many of them.
Yeah.
And like I don't know how good it would be, but like a Bunsen and Beaker show.
Yeah.
Like you could do something with that. Like, there are some Muppets where I sit there and I say, I don't know, like how much would a Sandy Eagle show be?
Yeah.
But then again, I didn't think this was going to be all that interesting. Like I didn't see how how are you going to get 10 half-hour episodes out of this? Out of the mayhem.
They
did. So.
That Weird Al part?
Oh.
I know.
So good. Thanks, Weird Al.
Yeah. He was like my favorite.
Yeah. So yeah, I if you are a Muppet fan, I mean, if you're a Muppet fan, you should have already watched this. But if you haven't watched it yet, you're kind of on the fence thinking about it. Like, obviously, we both give it high ratings.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I did too.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like, they announced an Echo for in Marvel, the deaf girl from the Hawkeye show.
Yeah.
They're gonna drop. They're gonna do just a full drop of all 10 episodes at one time.
Okay.
And everybody's like, "Oh, well, that must mean this stinks." They don't have any faith in it to keep your attention for 10 weeks or whatever. And I replied on Twitter, and it got a couple of likes, but nobody said anything back to me, which I was surprised. Well, was that the thinking about the Muppet Mayhem? Because it just dropped all at once.
Yeah.
Like, do you think Disney didn't have any faith in that? Because it's a really good show.
Yeah. No, it is. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tattooed their name right on my stomach. Cheech and Chong episode was good.
Oh. Yeah. You were going out for pizza.
I'm surprised they
man.
were there together.
Yeah. Well, no, they've been doing stuff together again.
Yeah.
But still, I was like, you were going out for pizza, man. You never came back.
I know. It's great. Anyway. And what else did I watch this week? Black Knight.
What's that?
It's a... it's Korean.
Okay. You do love those Korean shows.
I do. I fucking love them. And this was English dub, so...
Yeah.
In a dystopian future devastated by air pollution, the survival of humanity depends on a group of delivery men known as the Black Knights, who navigate the wastelands using unconventional means.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty much they drive these huge fucking gigantic trucks.
Yeah.
and it has air on it, oxygen.
Yeah.
And they deliver oxygen.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
It drew me in.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
You know, I'm all about apocalyptic movies.
Yeah.
Or shows. And, yeah, it has a good story. It's like a story within a story within a story.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's layered. But I liked it. It's fucking badass, the main character. But, you know, there's raiders and...
Yeah.
Sort of like a cross between, like Mad Max and fucking... I don't know. It's not
Postman.
Yeah, the Postman.
Yeah.
It's not zombies or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just people trying to get the air.
Yeah.
Like there's no oxygen.
Right.
And... but there's all these sub-stories.
Right.
Which are really good. So, yeah, it was enjoyable. I binged it. I finished it.
Yeah.
Got that out of the way. I watched the trailer and I was like, all right, I'm sold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if it's English dubbed.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a couple good shows on now. I just have not been in the mood to watch because I just have to... It's not that I don't have to pay that close attention, but you do when it's in closed caption.
Right. Yeah, especially
because you'll miss something.
Right.
You know? And lately I just haven't been in the mood to watch that kind of film. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good show. I suggest it if you like that type of shit.
Well, I am looking forward to this week. Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to have a show on Netflix.
I heard about this, but I haven't.
Fubar.
Yeah.
It looks really interesting.
Really?
Yeah, it kind of, again, it takes that True Lies kind of concept and twists it up a bit.
Okay.
So the basic concept from what I've caught from the trailer is, you know, he's a CIA agent and he's sent on this mission and it turns out his daughter is also a CIA agent.
Okay.
And so now he's kind of protective of his daughter, but it turns out she's a bit of a badass and like there's, you know, hijinks apparently ensue. Tom Arnold's in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it looked very interesting. But it's Schwarzenegger. You know? Schwarzenegger's doing a TV show? 8 episodes? Really? Okay, I'll watch. You know?
Yeah, right.
You know? And it looks like Schwarzenegger fun. So, like, yeah, I'm in. I'm looking forward to that this week.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, well, before we move on, I do want to address 2 deaths this week.
Okay.
First, we lost professional wrestler, superstar Billy Graham.
Yep.
And I know we don't talk wrestling and whatnot, but superstar Billy Graham was the prototype for what professional wrestling became.
Yeah.
Like, he influenced Hulk Hogan, Jesse Ventura, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, and everything that came after that. Like, if you listen to... And he was a WWF champion. Like, he's the guy who beat Bruno after his 2,000-day run. And he held that title for, I think, 4 years before losing it to Bob Backlund. And it was one of those things where if you listen to, like, his promos from back then, like in the 70s, they were magic. Like, that was the stuff that, like, people were doing late. Like, his stuff was blatantly being ripped off by people later on because he was that damn good.
Right.
You know, and he was a big, strong guy. Like, you know, he was, like, the first, like, weightlifter.
Yeah.
You know, that, like, you know, I mean, Bruno had a physique, but he wasn't, like Billy Graham. Like, Billy Graham was like a bodybuilder type, like which Hogan was. You know, which so many others were after Hogan. Even like everybody looks like, well, Hogan was the prototype. Well, no, Superstar Billy Graham was the influence on Hulk Hogan.
Right.
You know, and you know the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, stuff like that. Like I listen to Billy Graham cutting promos, and then I listen to Dusty Rhodes cutting promos, and it's like the same fucking promo. You know.
Yeah.
280 pounds of blue-eyed soul. Like, I mean, it's like, you know, it's like, damn, that's straight out of Billy Graham's playbook, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, Dusty had the famous match with Billy Graham at Madison Square Garden where Dusty won, but by countout, so he didn't become the champion. But he, you know, there's pictures of him holding the belt because he thought he won the title, you know, stuff like that. So like, it's like he was 79. You know, he had lived his life, but you know, it's still like a passing of a legend that you know. And also Jim Brown.
Yeah.
Now I will not sit here and I will not glorify the man. I mean, you know, he was an amazing football player. He was an amazing civil rights activist. He was also a misogynist.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you he was a great person or anything like that. He's a complicated man.
Yeah.
You know, but I can speak like I never saw Jim Brown play football, but I've watched enough stuff from Jim Brown to know he was one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
You know, like made the Cleveland Browns relevant for a little bit. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's that thing of like. He only played, I think, 9 years. And was a leading rusher, like all-time leading rusher in the NFL for 20.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it wasn't until Walter Payton broke the record in, I think, 86 or 87. You know.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until, you know, it was 20 or so years later when Emmitt Smith broke the record.
Right.
You know. So, but it is one of those things where, like, you look at, like, Jim Brown's legacy as a football player, and you have to say undeniably he's one of the greatest of all time to ever, you know, strap it up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, and as a civil rights leader, you know, he paved the way for a lot of players, and, you know, he did a lot of good, did a lot of bad. You know?
Yeah.
So, but I have to acknowledge it because, like, you know, we talk about, like, you know, when we talk about GOATs,
Oh, yeah.
like we just talked about Jordan,
Yeah.
like, you kind of have to put, like, Jim Brown in that conversation as an NFL football player. Like, he has to be considered one of the greatest of all time. You know, certainly, if he's not your top, he's got to be in your top 5.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I wish I had seen him play.
Yeah.
You know.
We didn't.
No, he was before my time, but at the same time, I mean, because it's rough. Because, like, I sit here and we talk about, like, I just talk like, you know, when you talk to, like, NBA people, like older people point to Oscar Robertson as the greatest of all time, or we point to Jordan, and people younger than us probably point to Kobe.
Yeah.
You know, or LeBron. Like, if you ask me, like, who's the greatest running back of all time, I'm going to tell you Walter Payton.
Yeah.
Walter Payton's the greatest running back I ever saw. But,
Sweetness.
yeah, you know, with Emmitt Smith probably being second. Like, Barry Sanders certainly has his, you know, points. I'm not going to deny his greatness, but, you know, to me, I would have much rather had Walter Payton than I would Barry Sanders. To me.
Peyton was good. Huh? He was
Like,
amazing.
Peyton was cutting off big runs on horrible Chicago Bears teams.
Yeah.
Like, he was drafted to one of the worst teams in the NFL, and they stayed that way for a good 5-6 years.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't until Ditka came to town where that team started to turn around. But he had already had, like, you know, used up plenty of tread off the tire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On bad teams.
Yep.
So, like, that's why I kind of always point to Peyton, you know, as, to me, the greatest running back of all time, just because he played for so many bad teams but still put up statistics.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Peyton was good, man.
Yeah. So, 2 legends lost this week.
Yeah.
Moving on to some other oddball news.
Sure.
Apparently, this past week was the it's a food expo.
Okay.
And I guess this is kind of like, where like food companies show off, like, hey, this is some new stuff we're offering. Here's equipment to renovate everything. Heinz is offering a sauce machine. Now, you've gone to like a restaurant, like I think Wendy's has these the majority of the time. I think Five Guys has them as well. Like, you go and they got that Coke machine where you can mix the flavors. It's all digital. You pick what you want.
Yeah.
And then it fills your cup with it. Well, Heinz is offering the same thing with sauces. Okay. They're offering a machine that'll have in it. Let me find here.
Let me guess. Mayonnaise?
No.
No? Heinz mayonnaise?
No.
Interesting. Well, ketchup for sure.
Ketchup, yes.
Chili sauce?
No.
A1. Not A1, but Heinz steak sauce?
Heinz 57.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mustard?
No.
What the fuck else is there?
Ketchup, ranch, Heinz 57, or barbecue sauces. Okay. Those are like your base sauces. And they can be then enhanced with other flavors, which currently include jalapeno, smoky chipotle, buffalo, and mango, with 3 levels of intensity. Eventually, over 200 flavor combinations will be available without requiring customers to mix their own. Now, the thing you're probably asking yourself is, like, why is this interesting, Sean?
Yeah.
And it's interesting on 2 fronts. One, I find it fascinating that, like, we've reached a level of technology where, like, we're going to have, like, a giant machine dispense our ketchup instead of the practical pump we've been using for 100 years.
Yeah.
Okay. But 2, these flavor combinations are going to create data that Heinz can use and make a determination on, like, based upon usage. Maybe they create like a smoky chipotle ketchup that they then sell to the public.
Right.
Because it's out of 100,000 users, this is being requested, by 25,000 of them or something.
Yeah.
Like, like, wow, this is a flavor combination that we can create and market and put on shelves because it's so popular with the people who are using these machines. And I think that's what's the interesting aspect of this is, now my taste decisions are creating data to influence decisions made by companies.
Right.
Like when I go to those Coke machines, I'm just getting simple Coke.
Right.
I don't want to put jack shit in it. And I'll probably be the same way if I ever run into one of these machines. Just give me ketchup.
Yeah.
I don't need anything special in it.
Yeah, but with my girls,
right,
they like the Coke machine that they can add things to. Or,
right.
So because Coke also owns Sprite.
Right.
They can add things to their Sprite. And,
right.
Whatever they want. So it's definitely a younger generation move. Coming from a dipper.
Yeah.
Myself, I dip everything.
Yeah.
And so, and I've always been like that.
Yeah.
So, I'll make my own pink sauce with mayonnaise and ketchup.
Yeah.
Or I'll have ranch.
Yeah.
Today I made an Italian hoagie, but I wanted mayo on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted Italian dressing on the side. And like one of my favorite things is like a steak hoagie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I want my Italian and mayo on the side.
Right.
So I can dip it.
Right.
You know? So the introduction of new flavors is actually pretty ingenious, actually.
It is. It's like an interesting idea from that standpoint of like what would people do?
Because it's not necessarily for the sandwich itself, it's for the fries.
Right.
That's what they want to do.
Right.
I mean, when I was 16 and working at McDonald's, one of the best things in the world were fries and tartar sauce.
Yeah.
That was like creme de la creme.
Right.
You know, fuck the ketchup. Bring me that tartar.
Right.
And we used to dip our fries in tartar sauce.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was like, whoa. I think that's probably what got me started on the whole... Like, I was never a kid, like... My kids were dippers, because my kids were ranch kids, right? I know that sounds weird, but... Ranch... I really think the dipping progression... Well, at least for my experience, was, you know, with the girls.
Yeah.
And they like to dip their dip in ranch. I mean,
Right.
Kids, and that was a newer thing at the time.
Right.
Like carrots or celery or whatever,
Right.
whatever they had. They dipped chicken nuggets. They dipped everything in ranch.
Yeah.
And that's what they had back then was
Right.
ranch. But this is just expanding on that
Right.
idea. And now we're in a society.
So now you take your ranch dressing, you add a jalapeno flavor to it,
right,
to enhance
right,
your
dipping smoky
experience.
chipotle experience,
Right.
or whatever. And I'm all for it.
Right.
You know, like if I get chicken fingers, you better believe there's some honey mustard on there.
Right.
As
Right.
a dipper.
Right.
With my ketchup and with my ranch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I like the variety.
Right.
You know, each bite is different.
Right.
So, I think makes a smart move. And if they can calculate, like you said, on, 53% of the people use smoky chipotle with their ketchup.
Right.
And that's what they want. I mean, that's what they're using. Then let's put out a smoky chipotle ketchup.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because that's just marketing.
Yeah.
You know?
It is. I mean, it's what it's... I mean,
that's brilliant, man.
Yeah. And that's what's interesting about it is, like, I mean, there were the days of, like, with the, like, a Coke machine. Like, if you went someplace and they had, like, pour your own Coke, like, as a kid, it was like, you made a suicide. You just put a little bit of everything in there.
Yeah.
It tasted like shit. But,
Yeah.
you were like, this is delicious, But...
Well, it kind of goes back to the days of, like, the old soda machines, right?
Yeah.
Like, where you went into the Isleys and you ordered a Coke, and I was like, hey, you want some vanilla in there?
Yeah.
Want some grenadine in there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just a take on that.
Right.
Which I like.
Like, I'll never forget.
I would give money to go back in time to go to the old-fashioned Isleys and get a Coke from Isleys and have...
With a pump of vanilla in it or something.
A pump of whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's just, like, the most interesting thing in the world.
Well, I went one time in my younger days. My one buddy, he convinced me to go to a coffee house. He's like, you'll love it. You'll love it. Okay. I'm like, what? Do they serve beer there? He's like, no. I'm like, well, I don't drink coffee. He's like, well, they've got other things. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So we go there and, there's people playing chess and, all this, it's very...
Where was this?
This was on the south side.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
It wasn't in the strip?
No, it was on the south side.
Okay.
And, he gets his coffee. My other buddy, he gets some coffee. And my turn to order, I go up and I'm looking around like, I just have a Coke. And the guy's like, and what would you like in that? I'm like, ice. Like, well, we have a number of... Like, look, motherfucker, I just want Coke.
Nice.
Don't go trying to put shit in my Coke.
All right.
Just give me fucking Coke.
Yeah.
Like, looking at me like I'm like this isn't for me. Like, I don't like coffee to begin with. Place reeks of coffee, and now you're trying to put shit in my Coke.
Right.
So I'm like, you can go back in time all you want and enjoy that experience. I don't want no parts of that. Just give me my fucking Coke.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I respect that. But like, again, like, like these machines, like they're not aiming at me because I'm just getting, Coke. I'm not mixing anything in with that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like you go to some of these places, like they're like, do you even now like Giant Eagle has something similar to that, and then they'll ask you, if you're like, hey, would you like to add an energy shot to that? Like, no, I just want my Pepsi. Just pour Pepsi.
Really? They add energy shots to Pepsi?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like
which is just caffeine.
Yeah, I mean it's just like some sort of like liquid caffeine they're adding to it, which I don't think Pepsi needs. Mm-mm. But it's just that interesting thing of like they're offering stuff like that, even like at a Giant Eagle now or Get Go. I mean, where like you can get that extra like flavoring you can add to whatever it is you're drinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So I am not the target audience for this, but I find the concept of it interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm just getting Pepsi, I'm just getting Coke, I'm just getting ketchup.
Well, it's also a take on the wings too. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
People have been doing it with wings for how long? They just
Yeah, I mean, you went from like just a plain wing to the buffalo wing or the barbecue sauce wing.
Yeah.
To these places have 100 different flavors.
I think the third wing was probably garlic parm.
Garlic parm, yeah.
And that was like,
yeah,
because that's my favorite wing.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, in the beginning, I'm trying to think back when we ordered wings, or when I got wings at Niagara's. It was, I don't think we even had buffalo sauce back then.
Like I remember,
talking like 90.
Yeah, like I remember going to like the Blue Rock, and I remember that they had like 3 options, or 4 really. You could get them plain,
or seasoned dust,
seasoned salt. They had a buffalo sauce, and they had barbecue.
Yeah,
and I always went with the seasoned salt.
Yeah, that's my favorite too.
Yeah,
I mean outside of the garlic parm.
Yeah. Like there was at that time there was no garlic parm, but I mean back then too I was also it was like 25-cent wing night and they were the full fucking wing, not wing dings like everybody gets now.
Yeah, like no, I know.
Yeah, I mean, you got the flat, you got the drum and the hooker at the end. Yeah.
Well, I went. It's funny you said wings because I went to where did I go? Carrigan.
Oh, okay. Good wings. At least they used to be. I don't know if they still are.
They still are.
Okay, good.
So I went to Carrigan, and I've stayed away from the Carrigan just because it is a little bit pricey. It's pricier now than it used to be.
Right.
But I did go to the Carrigan. Elliot won Student of the Year, actually.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
And so I was like, all right, I'll just take everybody out to lunch.
Yeah.
Somewhere close.
Yeah.
So I went to the carriage, and I got a French dip sandwich, which was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But on their side menu, the paper menu they bring out.
Yeah.
Their specials.
Yeah.
I guess. Wings were $1 a piece, and they were full wings.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So I got 6 wings.
Yeah, give me 6 wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were that good.
Yeah.
And I just got seasoned salt.
Yeah.
And it's actually seasoned salt with barbecue.
Yeah.
And a little bit of sugar. That's the magic behind a wing.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
And man, were they good?
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. I missed the whole wing.
So do I.
Like, I don't know. Wing ding's a wing ding, but I missed the whole wing. You actually break it.
Yeah. Like the problem became like wings exploded.
Yeah.
Like the wing industry, like it just exploded because that was garbage meat for the longest time,
dude.
Like,
I know you can. Get
that's why you were
nothing.
getting it. Like that's why I was getting a full wing for 25 cents.
Yeah, for a long time,
it was like, that was how a bar drew you in. Like, it was like 25-cent rings, 50-cent drafts, you know, and, you know, for $5, I had a full tummy and got fucked up.
Yeah, and then that's what I'm saying. I know. And then if you ordered out, they were usually like $5 or $6 a dozen.
Yeah.
They were nothing.
Yeah. But now, I mean...
It's like $29 a dozen. Remember for a while there during COVID, it was like $29, $30 a dozen. I'm like...
Buffalo Wild Wings was like, you know, we're going by market
price.
Yeah. Like it's fucking lobster.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I refused to eat them for a while.
Yeah. Oh, so did I.
I outlawed them. I was like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know I'm old, right?
Yeah.
I'm old. I get it.
The second you are telling me you are selling wings at market price, that you don't even, the price on the menu, there is no price on the menu. Like, this is not fucking lobster. It's chicken wings.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Your wings are more expensive than chicken breasts.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Out. Yeah.
Completely out. Like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever even heard of.
Yeah.
When I saw that market price too, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What are we at that? It's like a fish market.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can get fish cheaper than what you're trying to fucking sell this wing to me. Wing.
I can get Alaskan crab cheaper than I can get a fucking wing.
That is fucking insane.
It is.
Insanity.
Yeah.
I can't even. I can't believe that. I know. I was market price.
Yeah.
My ass. Market price. Where are you getting your wings? Are they wearing golden crowns as they fucking peck dirt? It's fucking chicken. Market price. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But you're right. Wings did go through an explosion where it was just like...
I mean, they honestly, they went from being like 25-cent for a whole fucking wing to like now, like, then it came like, you know, wing dings, you know.
Yeah.
And to now, it's like, you know, $1 a wing for the ding, you know.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck is this? You know.
Crazy.
It is. It's crazy. But I mean, it was an explosion. Like that went from being the thing that nobody ate.
Nobody. Like, that was like, I can remember going to KFC, like, way back.
Yeah.
And the thing was, when you went there and you ordered a bucket.
Yeah, you thighs and breasts.
No wings.
No wings. Yeah.
No, you didn't want wings at all.
No.
No wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. No wings
like
at all.
They charge you extra to not give you wings.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it was like, motherfucker, you're going to take this junk meat, and if you don't want it, we're going to charge you more for it. You know, now.
But back then it was junk meat.
Yeah.
It was garbage.
Yeah.
That's how KFC was rooking people, because they were putting like
3 wings in there.
At least.
Yeah.
And that was like, there's no meat on those wings.
No.
It's all breading.
Yeah.
Because their chicken's awful anyway.
Yeah.
It's mutated bullshit. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you think you're not getting any meat on their fucking drumstick? Wait till you taste their fucking wing.
Yeah.
But they throw 3 of them motherfuckers in there.
Yeah.
KFC was, I'm telling you, and maybe I'm just, memories serving me wrong, but man, when I was 10, 11, 12, you got a bucket of KFC. That was some good chicken. No, for real.
Yeah.
You picked up that drum, you got some meat eating on that drum.
My family never was a KFC. Like, my family wasn't big on meat off the bone.
Really?
Really. Like, my parents were baffled, like, when I was eating, like, I'm going to the Blue Rock to eat, wings and get wings and have some beer. Like, you eat chicken wings? I'm like, yeah. That's too much work for 2 little meats, son. I'm like, well, it's 25 cents a wing, so I'm okay.
Yeah. But back in the day.
But that's also why we didn't eat ribs.
Yeah.
That's too much work for 2 little meat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was like the family philosophy.
Right.
You're paying for too much bone.
You are paying for bone. That's part of the problem with ribs.
Yeah. So, like...
It's usually about... Well, I don't know what it is now, but it used to be about $1.50 a bone.
Yeah. So, like with KFC, we really didn't go to KFC.
Yeah.
Because my family didn't eat chicken like that.
Yeah.
You know, my mom would get like, you know, boneless chicken breasts.
Yeah.
That's what we had. That's what we had. We didn't, you know, like, my mom wasn't breaking, you know, getting like Nancy was shocked I'd never had a Cornish hen. But we didn't eat chicken off the bone, so why would we ever have a Cornish hen? Like, my mother didn't prepare chicken like that.
Yeah, there's not much meat on a Cornish
No.
hen anyway.
Again, too much work for too little meat. You know, so, but it's stuff like that.
But you do get some meat off a good big chicken.
Yeah, you do. You absolutely do. But that wasn't how my family went about it.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't looking like, you know.
Why did Tracy always like dark meat, though?
Because she just did. Like, that was like a Thanksgiving thing. Like, you know, she wanted the dark meat.
Yeah.
You know, because she understood it was, you know, juicier than the white.
Yeah, I know.
But whoa, that's like, going down the wrong road. But anyway, I can hear Thad's right in now. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, but we weren't, you know. I was shocked, like, one day.
Because I like the dark meat, too.
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks.
No, but what I'm saying.
But, like.
What I'm saying, you have to understand. Like, to put it in perspective. When we went to family functions.
Yeah.
That white meat on that turkey was fucking sawdust.
Oh.
And I am not, like, trying to disrespect the family whatsoever. No. That turkey was meant for a turkey sandwich, sliced thin, a lot of mayonnaise on it, or turkey salad.
Yeah.
You know, like a mayonnaise salad.
Yeah.
That turkey was not meant for consumption by humans. It was so dry. And part of the problem is they cooked it the day before, and then they put it out. That was part of the problem with the dryness.
Right.
And they cooked it too long.
Right.
So, that's why you fucking put a ton of noodles on your shit.
Yeah.
So that covered it up.
Yeah.
Tracy and I, we didn't, I mean, I like the noodles, but we didn't do that. So we went for the dark meat.
Right.
Because we knew that we weren't going to fucking choke.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, for real. And it's just how our family did it. I mean, and I get that.
Right.
You know, I talk to some families, they say, oh, I made the best turkey, everything was moist. And I'm like, complete fucking jealousy there.
Yeah.
Because years upon years upon years of my life, that turkey was dry as fuck.
My dad told the story one time to me, that he told to my mom. When he went to my grandma Sanders' house, my mother's family, and they had Thanksgiving dinner, he thought the turkey was undercooked because it was so juicy.
Oh, that's crazy.
He's like, had no clue. He had no clue that turkey, like, that's how it was supposed to actually be. Not a clue in the world, because he had been eating that dry ass turkey that nobody in our family knows how to cook.
Yeah,
like,
weird.
not a one. They dry that shit out.
Oh.
You know.
You can use it for snow. Put that shit on a cheese grater and just...
Yeah.
It is so dry.
But
the noodles, though...
Yeah.
Are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Especially the old school noodles.
Oh, yeah. The old school nanny noodles with the gravy. R.I.P.
Oh, that shit drying out on the countertops.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Disgusting. No, people just don't understand. I mean, like...
The two hardest things in the world to explain to people are nanny noodles and coon potato salad.
Oh, man.
I cannot explain it. I can't explain to you why it's so fucking good. Like... I'm like, there are people who, like, you know, white people don't know how to make potato salad, and I get that. And you know what? You can have yours however you enjoy it. But I will take what you would probably consider our bland ass shit, and I will eat it every fucking day.
Oh, I would too.
Yeah.
I haven't had it in so long that
Yeah.
I just haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't had it.
No, the next holiday we have, I will make sure you get a bowl. I will bring you a bowl.
I just can't. I haven't had it in so long.
I know.
They made some potato salad the other holiday.
Yeah.
Brie made it. And it was actually really good. But the onions were too big.
Yeah.
You know? They were just too big.
Yeah.
Like, the chunks, it was too overpowering.
Yeah.
Like, I was actually spitting them out because they were too much.
Right.
But the consistency was good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there is nothing like Coon potato salad. And my grandmother, I don't know if that came from Grandma Coon or not. I'm assuming that it did.
I don't know.
I don't know either because my grandmother put pepper rings on top of her potato salad.
Right. And I don't know who these motherfuckers are that are putting raisins in their potato salad, but you motherfuckers need to stop that shit.
What did I see today? Somebody putting raisins in their meatballs.
Oh!
I was like, that is just sacrilege.
That is.
You don't put raisins in meatballs.
No.
What
the fuck?
I saw it on TV. I mean, like it was some channel. I was like,
the only thing that's more incriminating, like it's just criminal, is when you accidentally grab an oatmeal raisin cookie thinking you're getting chocolate chip. Oh, those things need to be labeled at all times of what the fuck they are.
I can't stand raisins. Raisins in what?
Potato salad. This is like, I belong.
That is crazy.
I don't know how I got into this Facebook group, but it is clearly like a large portion of African Americans, and then there's me. And so I see a lot of these memes that they've posted that are very mean about white people's potato salad. Like,
man, I never heard soul food potato salad being with raisins in it.
No, that's right. They don't make it with raisins.
Never.
No, it's white people. White people are adding raisins to their potato salad.
Huh.
And I'm asking why? What makes you think, like, potato salad is 4 ingredients? It's fucking potato, it's egg, or it's onion, double that egg. It's egg,
5.
and it's mayonnaise.
And celery.
No.
Yes, there is most certainly celery in Coon's potato salad.
Not in mine.
You're kidding.
I kid you not.
I don't know about that. You better recognize. I think there's some celery.
If there's celery in that shit, it is ground into a fine powder.
I think so, but I'm pretty sure there's celery in that.
There are 4 motherfucking ingredients.
I'll put money on that.
I will make a phone call right now. Because Tracy's probably up. She's probably fortnighting. Let me see if I can get a...
I'm pretty sure there's celery in that. Or at least celery salt. I think there's celery. I would be shocked if there's no celery in that thing.
Let me go here.
Yeah, there's celery in that, dude.
Making a phone call right now. Hopefully she picks
verify.
up. Yeah.
Verify this.
I'm verifying this information because I'm even going to do this. I'm putting on speaker.
Hello?
Hey, Tracy.
Yeah.
Hey, we're on the podcast right now, and I need you to verify something for me. I need you to be honest.
Okay.
Okay. In our potato salad,
Yes.
is there celery?
What the? Get out of town.
There has never been celery in the potato salad. My father would not eat it if there was.
And there's no green pepper, right?
No green pepper.
No, I know that.
It is potatoes, onions, eggs, and Miracle Whip.
Miracle Whip?
It's Miracle Whip.
That's what I'm talking about right there. 4 basic ingredients, like a fucking Triscuit.
Miracle Whip?
It's Miracle Whip, yeah.
That is like...
I'm the only one that eats Hellman's in this house.
Are you sure?
She makes the shit.
I make it.
Is that grandma's recipe?
That's grandma's recipe as well, yes.
Is that great grandma's recipe?
I don't know if it's great grandma's, but I know Grammy Lou, that's how she made it as well.
Yeah, because I don't think my
motherfucker.
great grandma made it like that.
Yeah.
Your great grandma, not mine.
Yeah, well.
My grandma.
That's how that shit went down. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate you taking time out of fortnighting to give us this information.
No problem. Glad I could help.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye. That's what I'm talking about, motherfucker.
Miracle Whip?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm stunned. Stunned. Stunned with that shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go through my grandmother's recipes to find her potato salad.
Okay.
Because it's in there.
Okay.
I got all her recipes.
Okay.
I know that it was topped with onion. I know that it was topped with pepper rings. I know.
Yeah, wow.
Like on top.
Yeah.
Like it was pepper rings that were like garnish.
Right.
I don't think she actually put peppers in the potato salad, but she put them on top.
Right.
I would be hard pressed to find out that she fucking put freaking Miracle Whip in. I can't. That is like something not right with it. I mean, as many Southern relatives as I have, they would be fucking freaking out.
Oh. So this is a shocking revelation to you.
No idea. No idea there's mayo in there. I mean, Miracle Whip.
Wow.
That's crazy. I still like it, though.
It is delicious. So. We're almost at an hour and a half here, so anything to add to the proceedings there, sir?
No, man, I'm good.
All right, well, remember there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us.
Hey.
You can send us an email, and that email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. We're very, very easy to find. Yeah. And we are on a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give them a Google search and you can find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And again, as always, folks, we'd like to thank you for checking us out each and every week. We can't thank you enough for the support you do give. And be a friend, tell a friend if you think somebody would enjoy these kind of hijinks and or shenanigans. And so on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.